Tonight, in-person early voting is already underway in 3 states: Virginia, South Dakota, and Minnesota.
This is the most consequential vote in my lifetime.
And now a new controversy over how ballots will be counted in battleground Georgia. The state's GOP-led election board voted to require counties to hand count all ballots cast on Election Day, a move critics say could delay the reporting of results.
So what are we trying to do here? We're trying to sow chaos?
Even though Georgia's Republican Attorney General says the election board may be overstepping its authority, Republican supporters say hand counting is important for election integrity.
Allowing our elected officials to have as much data as possible to make their decisions should ensure that they will certify.
Vice President Harris traveling to battleground Georgia, highlighting abortion rights.
This is a health care crisis, and Donald Trump is the architect of this crisis.
Last night at a star-studded virtual rally hosted by Oprah Winfrey, relatives of a 28-year-old pregnant woman, Amber Thurman, blamed her death 2 years ago on delays in her care because of Georgia's restrictive abortion laws.
I want y'all to know Amber was not a statistic.
Meanwhile, former President Trump arguing he should be getting more of the Jewish vote.
If Kamala Harris wins instead of the most pro-Israel president ever, you will have the most anti-Israel president by far.
Saying the Jewish community would be partly to blame if he's defeated.
If I don't win this election, and the Jewish people would really have a lot to do with that if that happens.
Both presidential campaigns now ramping up outreach to younger voters. Here in battleground Wisconsin, first-time voter Bradley Galvin tells us he thinks Trump will improve the economy.
I feel like he was one of the first politicians that kind of just says what he wants and doesn't try to pretend someone he's not.
While Harris supporter, fourth-year med student Caitlin Landry, who wants to be an OBGYN, says abortion rights are critical.
I am super excited about having someone who has a female perspective, a perspective of someone who is a minority. I think that's something that we need.
Tonight, the vice president is rallying supporters here in Wisconsin, where polls show the race is a dead heat, Lester.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.